Peace and salute. Peace and salute. Wicked, wicked. Yeah, Paula. Peace, Paula. They're known for doing that, Paula. They've done it to me too. That's why. And I like YouTube, man. I've always said I love YouTube. I just don't like the way they treat me and the way they, you know, um, do what they do. But I've just learned to take the punches and keep pushing forward. Um, Damn, it was called digital optical shit. Oh, right here, digital optical modulators. That's what I want to look up. Digital optical. So that's what this is, huh? All right. Digital optical mod. So they're saying these are hidden in the Antarctica. There's this video that optical modulators. So how are these hidden in Antarctica? You said D.O.M.s, D.O.M, digital optical modulators. So how the hell is this hidden in the ice? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's see, optical modulators. Square copper billet. $2,500. Fiber couple integrated setup. That's a fiber couple. Where's the modulators? Alright, you got a better idea. The modulators. Yeah, see right here, the new optical telescope is in the so-called South Pole. Let's get it. Let's get it. Here's that. Look at that. Now, A, is this really the South Pole? Or better yet, can you see the Aurora Borealis all around the realm? Because it's at it's coming from the North Pole too, but also all around the ice wall because it's part of the torus field. It's all around. That's what I think. That's why it's being seen at the so-called South Pole. The South Pole is a harsh environment, okay? It's far away from civilization. No, it's not. Difficult to access. Maybe. Elevated over 9,000 feet above sea level. Well, that makes sense. Considering the South Pole of the wall is above sea level because it's containing the water. Has practically 0% humidity. No, I'm not buying that. Maybe, because they cut all the trees down. Me and Dean were just talking about that. Where is Dean? He's supposed to be coming here. Dean, where are you? For South Pole experiments like the Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory, all instruments, whether in the ice or on the surface, must undergo feasibility studies to make sure they can operate in the harsh Antarctic conditions. Optical instruments, especially, are subject to icing and snow accumulation. Yeah, it's not sunny. We're not at the safari. Recently, the Ice Cube collaboration proved the successful operation of a new instrument, an imaging air Cherenkov telescope. So this is the telescope that guy was talking about. But he said the digital optical modules, the D.O.M.s, are, they're saying here is to measure yeah, he did say that. He said there's a array of over 5,000 of them in the ice. They're the size of basketballs. Now, did the fucking guy read this article? Or did the guy really was stationed there and knows about? That's my question, because I don't trust these people. The Ice Cube Neutrino Observatory, what a name. Is an array of over 5,000 digital optical modules attached to cables that have been lowered into 86 holes. 6 times 8 is 48. If I'm not mistaken. No, 48 holes drilled in the South Pole ice. This ice component is enhanced by a surface array called H.A.A.R.P, which is made up of 162 tanks of frozen water that each contain 2 digital optical modulators. Together, these arrays help researchers get a more complete picture of properties of high-energy particles from outer space, known as cosmic rays. Really. Really, really, really. 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 Chill. Hey, what happened, man? See? I click back once and this is what I get. What I get? Dude, stop playing games, bro. Why is it this color now? It's not black. What's going on here? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Some shit like that. Oh, there's Dean. So, there you go. Dean.
Hey, how are ya?
Just looking up these digital optical modules. That guy, remember the video I sent you? He said there's digital optical modules in Antarctica,
Yeah.
and that's what caused the earthquakes. But I'm trying to figure out. He was talking about that optical telescope. Well, I just went over that. But my question is, those things. It says Antarctica is 9,000 feet above sea level, and I agree with that, considering the ice wall or the mountain that's under the ice. But what are these modulators? Where you said there's 86 holes with them, so 86 of them around that whole ice wall, and it creates direct energy weapon. So let's put direct energy too, because you said that's what it really is. Direct. He said it's one of the largest direct energy weapons in the world. Remember?
Yes. It is the biggest. That's the largest they have so far built. Yeah. Well, that's what they tell us.
And guess what? And guess what? That video comes up when I put that. I put digital optical modulators in Antarctica, and then I put direct energy weapon in the world, or direct energy weapon in the world. It didn't say the biggest. I forgot to put that. But yeah, the video comes up. Oh, you could see it.
Right.
Huh, look at the video right here. Huh. That shit came up. That's funny, man. Which countries have direct energy weapons?
Which goes to show that the AI will work with any of us, right?
Yeah. AI is the master slave, put it that way, because AI, like you said, will work with anyone that commands it.
Yes.
Unless it's subject to only activate with certain voice. But other than that bit, I call it a whore.
Yeah.
AI is a whore.
Yeah.
AI will work with anyone.
The whore of Babylon.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh shit. I didn't think of that one. That is a true whore of Babylon. Fuck.
Yeah.
Those damn whores. They'll get you
Yeah,
in trouble.
there's just so much in it, you know. I mean, if we hadn't done the research, if we hadn't looked as far as we looked, if we hadn't gone as deep as we'd gone, we wouldn't see this stuff as plain as day in front of our face now, right?
True. I'm very grateful to know what I know, but sometimes it becomes too much, man. It's heavy, and
It is heavy.
I talk shit, but I also understand why people rather bury their head in the sand, because it's just too much for them.
Hey, I did a
They
lot
don't
of
know
burying
how to
my head
handle
in the
it.
sand myself, Chuck. You know, I put my fucking, I was an ostrich for many, many years, you know, and I didn't understand what a head in the sand ostrich meant until I found out that my head was just as deeply fucking buried as well. And then I realized that what ostrich disease is, because we all can have ostrich disease. We can all have our head in the fucking sand, right? But I called it ostrich disease once I woke up to it, that how much our head is in the sand. And sometimes we choose to put our head in that bloody sand so we don't have to listen because it's overbearing and we don't want to hear it. and so we fucking jam our head into the bloody hole so that we don't have to hear it. But I call that, as I paraphrase that as ostrich disease on Facebook, right?
Huh. An ostrich buries their head in the sand. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
They ostracize us too. We're being ostracized. um. So I'm gonna let people up. Don't get your panties in a bunch, everyone. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna let people up. I don't want this thing to when I let too many people up, it don't let me share, man. They'll keep booting me out. And then I just want to review a few things real quick.
Oh, if Dragon Tree is in the chat, I just want to salute him
Who?
on his channel if he's
Who?
there.
Who?
Dragon Tree, he
Oh,
calls himself. But I just wanted to salute him and to give him some big ups, and if anybody wants to go and have a look at his work, you know, he's about being real and upfront, and about being healthy and having a healthy body and having a healthy mind, right? So yeah, just a plug for Dragon Tree there, right?
man, I got this song I'm writing. I went off on this. I was on the bus today. I was writing some crazy shit down. But let's see. Direct energy weapon. A direct energy weapon is a ranged weapon that damages its target with highly focused energy without a solid projectile, including lasers, microwaves, particle beams, and sound beams. So they even got frequency on that bitch. Um, damn. Potential applications of this
Oh
technology
yeah, I
include
just wanted to
weapons.
also, sorry, Chuck, can I just jump in? I mean,
Yeah,
I want to put a plug in for London, for Adrian. I know, you know, people don't probably have had altercations and what have you, but I don't want to bring that into it. What I want to do is help promote other people's channels, and I realise that if people are going to promote mine, I'm going to have to do the same for them. And so I just wanted to put a plug in for Adrian today, for London Man and the Holy AI book. He's had some real problems going on over there, and I just want to let people know that I support Adrian, and I support all the people, and I love you all just as much. Thank you very much, Chuck.
no problem. Didn't he put out part 7?
Yes, yep. He's having a recap on it.
So they selling this thing right here. They're selling this package that direct energy weapon is to target missiles, vehicles, and optical devices of an enemy, right?
Who's the enemy?
Who's the enemy, right? I was just about to say that. We are. We are. That's the problem. They already tested it on us in Cali, and then in that September event too. It says operational advantages. Direct energy weapons can be used discreetly. Radiation does not generate sound and is visible if outside the visible spectrum. There's a lot of radiation being brought up in these different things, man. When I looked up earlier, what did I look up with Bex? It was direct energy weapons and shoot, something else, but there's a lot of radiation going on. I think it was H.A.A.R.P. I looked up. Microwave. Some devices are described as microwave weapons, microwave range is commonly defined as being between 300 megahertz and 300 gigahertz wavelength of 1 meter to 1 millimeter,
That's fucking phenomenal. That's phenomenal, bro. I mean, you got to think how much a bloody power and frequency a bloody microwave puts out, right? Just to cook food. And then you're just thinking about how these guys are talking about this bloody EMF frequency generator that is the biggest and strongest telescope in the world. Well, that's pretty fucking phenomenal shit, and we're talking like that, you know?
Yeah, that thing will melt a fucking car, let alone destroy it.
Well, there you go. You said the word right. You just about took the word right. I thought right out of my bloody head. Because when you said melt a car, I mean, hell, I was already envisaging paradise fires in California where they had bloody cars in the road and their bloody steel and their aluminium was, I mean, their wheels, alloy wheels, were just a molten blob running on the road, right?
Right. And they said it was still hot when they got there. Remember the metal? It was some metal was still running. Yeah. Man. Let me drop the link. I feel like people are like, the fuck, Chuck? There's only 3 people anyway. If it boots me out from sharing, I'll just go onto my phone. But for the most part, I just wanted to look up a few things. Yeah, I was disappointed with this digital optical. When I looked it up, digital optical modulator. That thing was a waste of time. But I did direct energy weapon earlier. Let's look up. Who do you want to look up, H.A.A.R.P or DARPA?
Well, what about the Paradise Fires? Have you got anything on that?
Okay.
Can you show people some of the stuff on how these bloody things work? And yeah.
Paradise Fires.
I mean, melting bloody buildings to dust and leaving the trees and grass green, you know?
I'm doing it right now. Let's see. Campfires, Paradise Fire. Yup. Fires in Oregon in August 2017. I'll Google it. That'll be better than this crap. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me back out and Google it. Because, you know, remember I was showing pictures, Dean? And I had these pictures of a boat. And they were magnifying the sunlight and lighting something on fire on shore. That's a direct energy weapon. These people had direct energy weapons centuries before we were born. Isn't that crazy? They're already onto it.
That is. I mean, the thing is that we could almost say that the giants had them even, you know? Because how do you cut off a massive tree like that? Did they have axes? Did they have saws? Or did they just deforest the bloody place with an EMF, right?
Hold on. Let's see if I can find these pictures. I got them, but I don't feel like digging them out. Using sun in the 1700s. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
Represent.
Yup, see, look, I told you, I found it. It's one of the pictures. Come on, won't it let me click on it? God, it took that long to click on it. You know, let me pick it. Yeah, where did my thing go? Oh no. Where's my fucking thing? Here it is. No. Open image in new tab. Save image. I'm so mad, man. I re-downloaded I re-downloaded what's that movie, man? I can't even think. See, you can see this picture. Look, the sun is shining down into this lens right here on shore, and then the lens is shooting the sunlight to start the ship on fire. That's crazy, man. These people are awesome.
Well, you know, I mean, this subject of the Paradise Fire, such things. Also, I'd like to add in that I did a little bit of research into the Tongan volcano, and I would say that there was something to do with an EMF program going on there too, right?
Direct energy weapons in this picture? No. What? What's this? Direct energy weapons. What's this? U.S. Navy successfully touched ship board. Oh, this right here. What the fuck picture is this? Contemporary depiction of the fall of Constantinople, emphasizing the Turkish use of artillery. What does that have to do with direct energy? Anyone? Who the fuck knows?
Not me. I mean, I'll have to think on it.
Yeah, me too. It's got me lost. Look at this guy. This guy got a dick in his hand. Look at this clown. Look, 2 bolos and the penis. What's wrong with these people, man? Oh, it's a bomb. With today's plastic explosives, you can mold your bomb into almost any shape you want, even an explosive penis. What's wrong with these people? They must have been bored. Right? Wow. What if they shoved it up one of these guys' asses and it blew up? That's sick. These people have nothing else to do over there in war. They're getting pretty sick.
What happens at the end of a penis? An explosion?
What's up, Paula? Is Paula here? I swear she came up. Guess not.
She's in the back. She says she's here in the back.
Yeah? I just let her up. Hold on. I'm coming, Paula. Hold on. Let me save this last picture and then I'm closing this down because that's not what I wanted. Hold on, Paula. I'm coming. Oh, I put her back out.
I wanted to thank Bex too for sending me that the Philosopher's Stone. It was very, very interesting, and I acknowledged a lot in it. Yes, thank you very much for sending me that link.
Which was it? One of mine, or was it something else she found?
I don't know. Might have been one of yours, Paula. How are you today?
I'm very sad because I can't go live now because they dug 2 years into my past on my channel to find something to nitpick to throw a second strike at me today when I got up. So I won't be able to go live today to talk about the Philosopher's Stone. Because it's such a vital part of information right now, and they couldn't have that. So, but now I gotta wait 2 weeks. However, it's kind of fitting because of the day that I'll be going live. The date for the 15th, it's it's some kind of religious thing, so it just makes sense that they do it on the
Right.
15th anyway. But yeah,
Fully.
they
Okay.
dig
Wow.
2 years into my past to ground me for 2 weeks. So I
Right,
can't.
yeah.
So
So, you know, I mean, you got to think to yourself, you know, they're
Oh
definitely
my
trying
God.
to slow us down, right?
What
yeah,
day
they're
is
just slowing
this?
me down. That's all.
Anyone could tell me what's April 19th?
Well, April 19th is my daughter's birthday, but it's sometimes also Easter and Good Friday and a couple
And
of
Yeah.
Chuck's birthday?
and your
Oh,
birthday. That's right. You're the same birthday as my daughter. Yep.
It says April 19th to May 1st are have occult significance. But, oh yeah, the Oklahoma City bombing. I remember that happening.
Yep. Yeah, they do all kinds of things on your birthdays. Yeah.
Internet control. I didn't know Obama signed that. Internet control. Obama blames internet for domestic terrorism. Fine. This is everything that happened on April 19th.
And
No
yet,
way.
you made it legal to put out false information.
Hmm.
So you made it legal to put out false information, and then you blamed the internet for false information. Bullshit. I got you by the balls, Obama. Not on my watch, motherfucker. I saw
good
that
on
shit.
you, dude. Well,
I'm pretty sure he's got a dangly. Pretty sure he's a him.
yeah, pretty sure of that. I think his missus might have too.
Yeah.
I wasn't
He's-
gonna go there, but since you did, I'm pretty sure too.
Oh my God.
But you
How
can
did
bet.
this open back up?
You can bet that they
Huh?
have used that technology, the sun, to, you know, turn into a laser of sorts to disintegrate shit and start fires. You can bet they've used that. I mean, if a child knows to take a magnifying glass to use the sun to burn ants, then I'm pretty sure adults figured a way to use the sun in the same way.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Mm.
I said that the last time we were talking about it, the same thing, and people are like, "Wow," and I'm like, "Come on, who hasn't done that?" Look at this picture right here. Look, the sun going into the lens. This guy's holding on shore, and then the lens is shooting the sunlight to the ship, catching it on fire.
Yep,
I want to find
that
more
was
of those
ancient
pictures.
Greece. Yeah, they've done it.
I've been doing it a long time too, by the look of it, eh?
Yes.
What's this crap, man? Laser directed energy weapons, the future of air defense. I could download this. But for what? How many pages is it? Oh wow. What's this one? Any questions? Yeah, I have a question. It's called Why Are You Here? Get out of here. Oh wow. So they're putting mirrors in the sky?
Yeah.
Huh. See the diagram right here? It shows the sun, and then they got mirrors up here. Oh
Yes.
shit!
There's mirrors in the sky. Yes.
These motherfuckers. High energy laser. So what's this stuff right here? Why does it do this?
Definitely putting it in plain sight for us, aren't they?
Okay, so my husband has something to say. Listen to this. Say that again.
Now they're talking about putting big mirrors up in orbit so that they can shine sunlight down when it's
Oh
nighttime
boy.
on the fields to grow food 24/7. But at the same time, they're always complaining, you know, there's too much sun, planet's too hot. We gotta
Right. Wow.
Yes,
That's
make
a
up my
good fucking
mind.
point. Very good
Yeah.
point. Thanks for bringing that up. Wow.
Yeah,
You know those
awesome,
mirrors.
friend, awesome.
Man, what a better time to bring that up, because we just looked at this diagram of mirrors in outer space reflecting the sunlight to catch fire and stuff right here.
Yeah, and so if the sun will cause it to catch fire, how's it going to cause it to grow if it's blazing? I'm just curious. You know, I have questions.
Yeah, and your husband made a good point. They're just crying about fucking there's
thanks
too
very
much
much to
sunlight.
your husband.
Make their mind
Big
up.
ups on that.
Yeah. They need to make their mind up.
Yeah, they can't because their head's buried in the sand or in their butt.
They got ostrich disease.
Yeah, I call it head and butt syndrome.
Yeah, okay, that sounds even better.
Yeah. Yep. I've known way too many people in my life that have head and ass syndrome, so I created a little video.
You know they got head and shoulders? No, it's head and ass.
Head and ass.
syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Get your head out of your ass. That's what my mom used to
Get
tell me.
your head out of your ass, yes.
Think I should watch this video? Let's see what happens if I watch it. Am I gonna
We don't want
get a strizzle?
Yeah, we don't need you to
out.
get stricken, canceled, and all that
Stricken
jazz.
with a disease.
They canceled me for 2 weeks because they don't want me talking about truth, facts, reason, logic. Oh no.
Hell no, they can't have that. No.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna play anyway.
I'm still going to talk about everything I'm going to talk about in that video today at some point.
Good on you.
What did you want to talk about? What was in the video?
It's going to be about the Philosopher's Stone, and you know how the liars. Yeah, the lying liars would tell us that the Philosopher's Stone has to do with turning some kind of metal into gold. What is it, lead into gold or some bullshit? No, it has nothing to do with it at all whatsoever. It's a rabbit hole.
Switch to my phone.
Thank you.
We could talk about it.
Yeah. What the true Philosopher's Stone is to be like me. I've been telling everyone on my channel for years I was born with the truth in my mouth and love in my heart, which are two important keys to be in the realm of human being, light being. And it turns out that that's the Philosopher's Stone, is to be honest with yourself and others. At all times.
I mean, honesty with self first always has to come, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it's about truth and honesty and integrity and temperance and all kinds of other things. I've got a friend from years ago on YouTube. His channel name is Seven Serpents. And it's, you know, it stands for the 7 chakras in the human body, in the light body. And he's been looking into it, and he found that out. And so I'm running with it because it's the most important thing right now. They are planning to end us. So best we die with our heart in place, with our tongue in place.
Yes.
Because it also turns out, I found out today, that the entire month of August is going to be a time of heavy ass karma with 2 super moons, one tonight or last night and one at the 30th of this month.
It was huge over here.
Plus it's the Lionsgate right now, but it's a heavy karma month.
I was actually driving last night, and the moon was so bright that I could actually just about turn my lights off and drive without bloody lights, you know?
Bloody bright.
Yeah.
You watched it.
Yeah, that's nice when you don't need to use your headlights. However, you're going to get a ticket, you know.
Look at my new screensaver.
What is that supposed to be?
A blimmy.
Yeah. But it's a so-called black eye blemmy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Told you there's all sorts of blemmies. Dark, light, Lithuanian, German.
Well, anybody that's not got in knowledge is probably, you know, headless.
Like
Headless.
the horseman.
But what my plan is to do on the video is to try to get people to remember their lives.
Yeah, you can
And,
talk about it now if you want. I don't,
you know,
don't bother
remember
me.
all the times that, you know, like when I was growing up with my family. They were liars. They were born with lies in their mouth. They lied about everything. They were drama queens, everything. And I tried, you know, I tried on their suit of armor of lies and tried to learn how to lie in order to be like them and fit in. It rode up on me. It didn't fit. And so I had to go.
And it made you ill in the process trying to fit yourself into that slot. Yes.
It did. Yes, it absolutely did. And you know, I want people to remember, you know, the instances of their lives. And if you were the one that was being dishonest, you know, come clean. You know, technically you should tell it out loud in public, but at least if you're not willing to tell it out loud in public, at least do that inner alchemy on yourself and repent for, you know, lying, even if it's the tiniest little lie. Because your higher self sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good. So be good
for goodness sake, Satan. Oh.
You know?
Fully, I get that. And I mean, as I say, I've been, I watched that Philosopher's Stone link that Beck sent.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep going over it because... I don't need to really keep going over it because I connected the dots in my own head about it.
Mm-hmm.
I realised that, you know, when we live with the lies of the world, that we poison ourselves over it, you know.
Yeah, I've been telling people for years, lies will poison you to death.
Mm.
And I figured that out for myself. And then I found that TikTok video, made a duet, and uploaded it to my channel, which is probably the one you saw. If you harbor lies within your body and you plant them inside of others' minds, inside of their body, you have now become a serial murderer.
Yep, an accomplice to murder, yes.
Not killer. Because kill means, you know, physically kill them. But murder means something different. You know, when my mom would always tell me I'm worthless, blah, 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 that was murder. By words.
Yes, yes, I understand you.
And I never knew that it was the Philosopher's Stone. I'm only recently learning this. So it's time to shout it from the rooftops. Especially this month. With heavy karma hanging in the balance.
Yeah, I mean, I resonate with karma, and I mean, I have many instances in my own life that I can say that karmic reaction came back at me for the things I did, and the things I was involved with, and you know. Yeah, so like running with world lies, you know, you can get yourself involved with it, and then you become poisoned with it as well. And
Yes.
you know, like even we talk about climate change and stuff like this, but if we don't understand how the climate works, then we don't. Then we might run with a lie of something else because we don't know what the real truth is. And so, you know, when you run with that lie, you're giving power to something that's going to cause problems. So I see that in a mass scale with the human race, so to speak, with so many minds believing in lies, right?
Lives hang in the balance because of lies alone. That doesn't even include all the other stuff they're doing to us. You know, I've always preached against fucking lies on my channel. I've always pushed truth. And I never knew what I was doing was pushing the Philosopher's Stone. And now
Here
that
you
I
go.
know it, oh, my heart is on fire. Yeah, read. Well, you're going to have to like skim through because they're going to tell you all the bullshit first, I believe, in the Wikipedia link, the turning lead to gold or whatever. It's buried in there.
Turning base metals such as mercury into gold.
Yeah, mercury. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one, but that ain't.
Antiquity, the earliest known written mention of the Philosopher's Stone is in the H.A.A.R.P. What is that?
Yeah,
Meta?
yeah,
Meta?
some other language.
You know, Paula, when I think about that, you know, like that turning metals to gold sort of thing, I mean, that would appeal to anybody who wants to have wealth, right? And
Exactly, that's
so,
the distraction.
yes, that's the misdirection. Thank you. Yes.
What's a
Yeah.
squared? Oh, the squared circle. Okay, so they got all three shapes: triangle, square, and circle. Within the
Yeah, there's
circle.
different ways of doing it
Witchcraft.
too.
Well,
Yeah,
this
it's
outer
alchemy.
circle
It's
don't
alchemy.
count. The outer circle
I'd
don't
also,
count. The outer circle is the circle you make to keep something contained in witchcraft. So this outer
Well,
circle is containing the triangle, the square, and the circle. It's like a portal.
but
but
I
also,
wanted to carry on there, Paula. Excuse me, guys, and say that the real gold, right? The real gold is actually the truth and being true to self. Yeah.
yes, well, that's, you know, being honest with yourself is the same as to thine own self be true. So, you know, be truthful with yourself, and then you can share it with others because you cannot give what you do not have. Your vault is empty. If it's full of lies, it's empty. And so therefore you have nothing to give.
See? Look at this picture.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Two men? What's wrong with these people? Where's the woman? Why is there two men?
The man's showing his pigs. That's why. That's okay. There's two women in this video, so fuck them.
Oh.
Hey, Beck.
Look on the ground. Look on the ground.
On the ground. It's really
an octagon
small.
right here. Look, he's got an octagon.
Oh,
Then
I see.
he's got a 6-pointed star in a circle right here on the ground. Then look at this. A cross. He's got the cross, but
not the cross.
right here.
Yeah.
What the hell's a fan doing down here?
Well, actually, that could be part of the compass, right?
Or a sextant or something. Yeah.
Yes.
In his hand, he's got the compass. See? Even though those look like two wands, I don't know.
It looks like they're looking through a wall. They're looking through a wall.
He opened the portal. Ooh,
yeah.
That's Masonic, the brick wall.
Yeah.
But I think, like what Paul is showing here, the portal is inside the self, right? Everybody's looking for these portals that are outside. They're looking for ways to escape. But really,
Well,
you know, it's all inside,
within.
right?
You can't
Yeah,
escape.
you don't want
That's the problem.
Well, you can, but you can only do it if you have a perfect heart and mind, and truth comes out of your mouth. That's the only way. And another thing I learned on Seven Serpents channel, watching his 2 most recent videos, is that you don't start really so much from the root chakra up. What I gathered from what I saw was, it was what I thought all along. It starts with the root chakra, or not the root chakra, the heart chakra. And then once you activate the heart chakra, then it shoots down to the root chakra and up through the crown chakra. And then you don't have coronavirus, virus of the crown, brain damage. You have your crown. You are no longer king nothing, being asked, where's your crown? You have your crown intact. So, yeah. But, you know.
That's too big. Look at this guy.
Yep, see, that kind of looks like a crown on his head up there. Like a king's crown in his head up there. Oh, I'm sure there's all kinds of symbolism.
Well, a lot of warlocks wear hats like that.
Yeah, well, it was called alchemy, I'm sure, long before it was called witchcraft. And
look at this guy. That looks like a pig, swine.
yeah. Oh my God.
Why are they jumping over fire? Both of them. This guy's about to light his nizzles up. His nut hairs are about to flame. He's about to have a hemorrhoid flare up for real.
Oh my God. Well, it's more like the phoenix rising from the ashes. The truth hurts, but only because you're in denial of it. Let it burn. I've been saying that for years. Let it burn.
You better be careful, because those nuts ain't going to rise from those ashes. If you ain't careful.
That's hilarious. That's
good, Paula. On you, Paula. Yeah.
Yeah, but the phoenix sings a mournful song on its nest before it goes ablaze and rises from the ashes. And that's how we're going to ascend up out of here into the realm we actually belong in, where people are loving and honest. And so, I mean, it's that simple. We don't need to read another damn thing. All we need to do is try to find the minimal scraps that they have given us out there on the internet if you need to research it at all. But I was born honest. I was the only honest person in that family. So I know that you can just do this. You just be honest with yourself and others, and let the truth burn, even if it's going to hurt. Let it burn. It's good for you. Fire purifies.
Yes.
We got
and Bex
Salama.
probably isn't talking because she's eating. I saw she said in live chat that she's eating. But she's listening.
Yeah, I'm just picking up some food actually.
Hey, Dick.
Enjoy.
Hi. Yeah, thank you. And actually, the only I really appreciate what you bring to the table, Paula. I would say the only thing that polishing that stone and beveling that diamond for everyone is their own unique journey. And so you can never really take in too much information and achieve that polish. You know what I mean? Like polish all those skills. So like that book that I shared is actually a part of Manly P. Hall's work. You know, it's and I found it to be one that had the least bullshit. You're right. There's a lot of publications that kind of ride on this teachings, you know. So yeah, good on you for being so solid in what you found. What supports what you already know.
Okay, I'll have to rehunt. I used to listen to his stuff and read his PDFs. And I can't find anything other than the stupid turning base metals into gold online. So I'm just going to have to, when I hunt it, I'm going to have to add Manly P. Hall to the search and then it'll force it to pop up for me.
Well, and I'm not sure if the gold base metals into gold is a metaphor or if it's real, but some of that's the difference between alchemy, between I don't know, black magic and white magic from my research. One has blood involved and one does not. Not saying one is good or one is bad, but I do think that, you know, by the looks of it, that's okay. Hold on one sec. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's okay. But I know, you know, where she's going with that. You know, it just spiritually, alchemically, within your own body, you know, and who cares if you can do it, you know, in the physical with elements. That's not going to get us anywhere. What's going to get us somewhere is...
Except it may be why they took away the gold-backed dollar, right?
Yeah.
It might be, and again, it's which if they always could cheat on that system, then, but that's one of the reasons why, because if you can take 80% gold and turn it into 100% gold and not lose any weight, then you've mastered the banking system, right? So I'm with you again on that, Paula. It's all a trick of money and, you know, and a rich man's game when it comes to trying to make gold from whatever. If it's possible, it takes months and months and a lot of, anyways, but I think it is a distraction from polishing all your own virtues. So I'm with you again, Paula.
Yes. Yes. And this is the most important thing. This is all there is. There's nothing more important than this. And
well,
so,
and that's where I would go so far as to say that we may be capable of creating diamonds inside ourselves, right?
Well,
out of all the biological material
in our heart.
I just wouldn't be surprised if somewhere inside us, you know, from start to finish, there's something growing that we don't actually see as organic, because until you cut open a tree or something, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I found
even a diamond and even gold stems from organic, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yes, it is organic. So, but we do have a crystalline something or another in the heart.
Well, all of our amino acids, just so you know, acids, it's all of our amino acids are crystalline compounds. Our whole body's made of nothing but crystalline compounds.
Yes.
So, I'm, and again, just to reiterate, like, you're totally right in the distraction of turning those things, outside elements, outside of ourselves. That's exactly where they try and distract you and send you into a mad scientist lab. When the process of digesting your food and surviving is alchemy, right?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
You took those words right out of my mouth. That was the next thing I was going to say, is that we have crystals all throughout us and in our brain, you know, at the pineal gland specifically even. And I think, you know, when you got your heart right, you know, they say, make your heart right with God. Well, you are God. So make your heart right with yourself and others. And then maybe that gives off a certain resonance that rings true with your pineal gland. And that's when the whole thing happens. Boom. At a certain point in time throughout the year, I think there's specific points in time throughout the year that this is, you know, that the portals or the gateways are open, you know. Like,
good point.
Equinoxes.
It probably has something to do with, and the angle of the Earth, of Moon, Earth, and Sun between your birth, on your birth. I'll bet you that has something to do with it too. Your own special, I don't know what it's called, but your own special angle.
Yeah. Yes. Angle, angel. Yeah.
Is Charles back yet?
No.
What happened, Charles?
He's having a hard time staying in his own video because he's got 3 whole people in here besides himself. Which, I mean, come on. It should be able to handle 4 people without going sideways.
And you know what? I can hop out so he can come back in. I just wanted you to it'd be neat. I think it's only an hour. It might be nice for you if you have a chance, Paula, to peruse that video.
It's opened and ready.
Pardon?
Thank you. It's opened and ready to go.
And not that I'm saying listen to the whole thing if it's repeating for you, but I found it a really good summary. Like I found it didn't have a lot of convoluted extra.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I don't like convoluted extra filler crap.
And then I'm not sure.
Yes. So thank you for finding that.
Mm.
Oh,
And if you got a PDF or something, you know, share it underneath one of my videos about it. And at least
How long has my camera been on? Did it just come on?
It just came on.
Okay, good.
Was I putting my pants on?
Oh no, I'm really good at that. It's just that where I shoved it to walk up here.
Yeah. Well, you were already standing upright when you started going through. So you're fine, I think.
Yeah.
Good on you, Gil.
And then I wasn't sure if Charles if I'm keeping Charles off, I'll hop off so he can hop back in.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or if he can just hear me and kick me out.
I think he should be able to handle like at least 3 or 4 or 5 of us even.
You should be able to handle at least 4. Yeah. And you've been looking into it too. So she knows a lot about it. See, I don't know it from other people's perspectives per se. I just know because I've lived it. Because it's who I am. I guess I am a living, breathing, walking, talking philosopher's stone.
Well, that's what we have to become, isn't it? That's what I'm seeking. Yes.
Yes. You could not pay me to lie. There's not enough money. There's not enough anything because I'm already rich. You know, I may misunderstand something, but as soon as I no longer misunderstand it and I understand it, I straighten that out immediately.
Yes. So I mean, I have the same thing. I mean, I could say that when I was living with the Bible and being not say a Christian, because I doubt to say that anybody is a true Christian, but unless they're being honest and true to self. But
right.
when I was being misled from information, I was living in that lie. And even though I may not have been aware that I was, it no doubt had its effects and returned karma to come back at me. And I would say that any one of us who have ever been misled have lived in that lie, even though we say we haven't or we aren't liars, respectively. We allow ourselves to be drawn into others' lies. Yes.
Yeah, because they believe it so much. You know, when you tell a lie so, continuously, eventually you're going to brainwash yourself into believing it. But if somebody else told you the lie, like they do in church, and you believe that lie.
But I'm saying that, like, when we run with that misinformation, we're also sickening ourselves within because we're unaware, right? And I'm saying that, like, I like to consider myself a truthful person, but I have lived with other people's lies. So even though I might account myself as a truthful person, I have lived with other people's lies. So I can't say I haven't been a part of lying, right?
Right, but as long as you're aware of it, you can, always do something about it. And that is the key, is to do, make sure you're always aware so that you can do something about it before it's too late. Yeah. And it's also for those who don't like, you know, the spirituality of karma and dharma. It's cause and effect scientifically. If you step on that rake laying in the yard, it's going to come up and hit you in the face.
Yeah, bloody guarantee.
Guarantee it. That's cause and effect. Bitch, you weren't walking
Yep.
where you were looking where you were walking, and you stepped on some shit that smacked you in the face. Yes. You know? It's so for those who don't want to look at it spiritually, it's cause and effect.
Yes,
And
so
that,
I can say I've been slapped in the face a fair few times, right?
you know, yeah. Well, whenever something starts going wrong inside of my body, I'm like, okay, who all have I talked to recently? And what have they told me? And I have a good memory, so it's not hard for me to do that. But a lot of people don't have a good memory thanks to the foods and the water and all that shit here. And it's even getting hard for me at times. But because I was born
But
with a
you
good
haven't
memory,
learned not to let it affect you, though, Paula. That's the thing.
that's where I'm at.
I
I'm
think
learning
that.
how to not. Yes, I'm. That's exactly where I'm at in my inner alchemy. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's a very interesting subject. And when we were in a live last time, I had no knowledge. Well, I had a little bit of knowledge of the philosopher's stone because I had seen some of it on Facebook, but it didn't register because the Bible thing was like so in our face that we weren't looking at self. We were looking at outside of self for help. We was looking to this savior that was going to come and help us, right? And
Right.
so we weren't looking into ourselves. We were looking outside, and
Yep.
that's where I was when I was on Facebook, when I was probably first got introduced to the philosopher's stone. So I couldn't look at it properly because I couldn't see inside. I was only looking outside, right?
Yes. Yep. That's right. You can only see when you look inward. You know, they say as above, so below, but I believe it's more as within, so without. And I've always believed that.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
that's a big way of putting that, Eva. Thank you very much.
and, you know, the way the Bible says it is, you know, whatever you believe, you will receive. That's how they say it, in one of the ways that they say it anyway. So, you know, so that's the same thing as whatever I believe is going to be what comes right at me. That's going to be what I receive.
Yep.
So I only receive truth. And I've got this inner antenna. This, I call it a built-in lie detector.
I think
And
you're right, and you know, I think that's why we're all here, because we have that built-in lie detector. Even though we get misled and we get misdirected, we you know, eventually we go to ourselves, say to ourselves, something's not right here, you know,
something
and
doesn't
so you
feel
start
right.
looking again. Yes, I mean,
I
instead
get
of
have to
saying
learn to.
going with the
I
instead
think we
of
need to
going
learn
with
to have
whatever.
conversations about each other's intuition too, because one thing about this philosopher's stone is that one of the big things is supporting your own intuition. Yet if your intuition is different than someone else's intuition, rather than being right or wrong, I think it's better to learn to understand, you know, what one can get from someone else, and not, because we're all about bringing receipts now, when really we should be learning to help support each other's intuition, you know?
And to learn where our tuition is coming from, right?
I'm not out to hurt anybody. What I do, no matter what it is, what I say, no matter what I say, is to help everyone. So yeah.
Welcome back, Charles.
Yes, welcome back to your damn video, bro.
I was talking to my brother.
Oh, I thought you got kicked out and you was having a hard time coming back in. That's what we all thought.
No, I was leaving my laptop And
Okay.
my brother called. Not my. I don't have a real brother, but I called him my brother because we basically grew up together. From we've been friends since middle school. So.
Well, you'll have to go back and watch the beginning that you missed.
Oh, I was putting something in the chat too. I was answering Kimba because she
Kimba!
Great
said,
to be part of this build today, guys. Thank you very much for including.
Mm-hmm.
"You're always welcome here." Phil, what's up, Phil? Christos,
There's
Kimba,
weird.
Everybody.
There's some weird pocket camera fucking optics, but nothing weird. Nothing weird, but still weird, but nothing weird. But
Your
yeah.
picture isn't there that you usually have. It's just the little white circle.
I found some more pictures with the Globus Cruciger in it.
And did you show anything on H.A.A.R.P and all that stuff that's in the title? There you go.
I was showing some of it, but then
There we go.
I showed
That's better.
I showed the D.O.M. What is it called? The D.O.M is the, I forgot the name of the title. The first thing in the title is
something direct optical module.
Yeah, there you go. That's the D.O.M, which they speak about in Antarctica,
Digital.
which is it's like a telescope. Then direct energy weapons we talked about for a minute, and then I was gonna get into H.A.A.R.P and stuff, but I figured you were gonna talk a while about the stone there, so I just fell back.
You might want to also change the title a bit and add the Philosopher's Stone to this.
I'm gonna change it.
Please and thank you, because that way it'll direct more people to watch it that didn't get to see it live.
Dean wanted to talk about the deforestation of the realm and how, what was it, Dean? The gases and stuff. We were talking about this earlier, man. This is interesting stuff.
Well, it's really blooming interesting. I mean, I have always been part of since I learned about the flat Earth, I've always been trying to figure out why we can't see long distances over oceans, and yet we know that the water's flat. And so the conversation was in my head: how the heck do we see so far on a lake, or some lakes, and other lakes we can't see as far? And so I started looking into oxygen and how it's produced by algae in the ocean, right? And so, the algae in the ocean produce just about probably over half of the oxygen the Earth has. And when oxygen mixes with gases, it causes atmospheric illusion, what we call heat wave, right? And when you look at a heat wave, it ripples and shimmers and carries on, and that is all the gases mixing and reacting with the oxygen, right? And that's why we can't see these distances. But anyway, what I wanted to show that is that they talk about climate change and the heating up of things. But if you look at how, say, deforestation is actually taking away the oxygen that's being produced over the landscape, then we're not getting this heating up kind of atmosphere going on. It's actually cooling the air down around the land, because the land is not giving out. It's not got the canopy here to produce the oxygen. And it's actually cooling down. And I'm actually thinking along the lines that this deforestation is how snow and ice actually developed in the first place. Yes. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, you're probably right.
When-
I have my own thoughts about the deforestation in a different way. I was looking at live chat too, so I didn't hear everything, but I don't think you mentioned that the elite are trying to clear the land to grow their GMO on or put their big ugly buildings on, and to burn out the homeless so that they can't go live free, God forbid.
I was going to say,
I didn't. Sorry, Bex, carry on.
no, I just thought it was a very astute observation. The distance of visibility of saltwater versus freshwater. I'd never thought about that. Most people haven't been to very big lakes to see if there is a difference. And definitely that recently I watched a magnetic oxygen, liquid oxygen magnetized video. And also a video that supported the whole, like, you know, a guy who was transporting his goldfish and why he leaves air in it for the goldfish and why it's safer and stuff. And the fact that, you know, air doesn't evaporate from water. Oxygen doesn't evaporate out of water, right? It doesn't, that's not the way it works. You know what I mean? Like, it's more likely the water's going to evaporate into the air, you know what I mean? Like, and still be a water molecule. So what got me thinking, in addition to the vapor of the oxygen, I think it could be literally magnetic curvature of the magnetism of the oxygen in the water being charged differently because of the salts in the water than the fresh water as well, right? And that may have fully have to do with the algae, right? Like, and whatever that salt system is, you know, but what an interesting observation that you can't see a ship as far. You can see a ship further on freshwater than you can on saltwater. That's what I got from that.
You can see them better on colder days compared to hotter days, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh, because of the thing that happens in the desert, a mirage.
Yes, yeah,
Mirage.
exactly. Good point, Paula,
Yeah.
because that would actually be, that likely is like the water evaporating. It is water evaporating out of the ground that would cause that. Or oxygen, we could call it. It could be oxygen being generated from the bacteria in the sand. You know, that goes with the algae. And actually allows us to believe that even in the most arid of settings, there's plant life we can't see, or life we can't see, that's converting water to oxygen while it eats.
Well,
right?
what I'm saying is when we're talking about why is it over some places we can see clear to the other side and other times not, because of the mirage. It's a mirage. That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's exactly.
I do.
That is exactly what
I've
we're
been
saying.
thinking
I
about
believe
that
it is
for a
the
very
same.
long time, Paula.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I never thought of that before, but it just came to me,
Like,
smacked me right in the
mirage is over water versus land, dry land. Yeah.
It happens over water too. Yes.
Yeah, I'll bet you it happens over mountains. I'll bet you it happens in all sorts of settings where the temperature allows the temperature change, or the feeding of the smallest molecule change causes that gas to be emitted into the air.
And that's what causes the mirage. Yeah.
So wouldn't that be crazy to find out it's the oxygen that's causing the global warming, not the carbon dioxide?
No.
Yes.
I don't think global warming's a real thing.
I think it's the lack of the oxygen that's causing the global warming, right?
Well, yeah, and it really
because if you haven't got trees producing, I mean, you could imagine the canopy of a tree the size of Devil's Towers, how much oxygen that tree would have pumped out, right?
Yeah, it would have pumped out a whole bunch of oxygen. Exactly.
Probably would have produce New Zealand bloody worth of oxygen
And
for a bloody 20 years, you know?
they take in the carbon. So why are, if they're so worried about the planet and global warming's real, why are they burning down the very thing that will take in the carbon and give back oxygen?
Because they want to blame us for it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, but where does the wind and the air really come from? On the maps, they show the 4 giants blowing air into our realm. Could that be the torus field that's giving the energy, the wave, what we call wind?
Or
I
it
would
could be
say,
that mirage of gases moving, right?
well, the torus field, because it's a continuously moving thing. And plus, you know, we all have the same thing around us. We have a torus field, the earth has a torus field, and actually everything has a torus field. And so, yeah. But see, then you also have to factor in weather control. Can, you know, frequencies can also change the wind and the weather.
And that's where I think Chuck's showing us this EMF telescope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way to bring it full circle, Dean.
Yeah, way to go.
Because I do think that I've been looking at old maps and wondering when they personify the elements like that on the maps, if it's a secret code, you know, for weather manipulation, by personifying it, and then it also allows those. It allows their system to sort of overlay its story over the natural story once again, you know?
There you go again. There you go again. Beautiful, Bex. Beautiful. Yeah.
Nice.
But I guess that's where, you know, the natural system does prevail, right? Like I think that's the one thing I don't know. I think at least I would know in my gut, right? That's the one thing we know the earth is capable of, right? Is taking care of herself if she has to. If that's even the way, unless man's done that to themselves and blamed earth for that. But nevertheless, let's just say, you know, either way, bad man ends up dead.
You know, I mean,
you know,
bad man dead.
You could lean this into the same story with the giants and say that they deforested, and then the same thing happened to them, and then eventually something, because of all the, you know, the non-organic, the non-natural, it just has to have a cataclysmic event that results from all that, right?
Yeah, like Paul Bunyan, chopping down all the big trees. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, and the big blue ox. Yeah. But yeah, tearing down all them big trees back when they were giants, because no way a little person could. But
I think one thing to focus on when we think about that story, by the looks at least. Now, again, from what I understand, metaphysically, alchemically, things can happen much faster than we've been told. But that canopy, by the looks of it, has been down a long time, right? Not trying to minimize the effects of it by any means.
Yeah,
but also,
I know what you mean. But they always put another canopy back. You know, they always reseed. I mean, I can see them coming up from underground, sending a whole lot of people out there with planes or whatever, reseed the whole place, give it about 40 years, 50 years, and it's regrowing again, most of it.
Not as big as those were. Those were huge.
No, I know. So that had a different time frame. But, I mean, if we were to look at, say, you know, like if people were hiding, say, from a cataclysmic event, they knew that the fucking collapse of the vapor canopy came, whatever, like H.A.A.R.P talks about, and so they dive underground, right? And they hide there and wait for it, because, you know, I look at Chernobyl. Chernobyl took place. They reckon it just destroyed everything, but not really. I mean, the thing is, it was just a city. But if you go and have a look at that city now, there are trees growing out of the building. That place has just gone back to nature. If man isn't in it, it'll go back to nature, right? It'll reseed itself. It'll retake over. I mean, you looking in the Inca culture, civilization. There are massive forests growing over old bloody pyramids, right?
Right.
So those things, that event could have happened. Then the trees regrow or whatever. They come up and seed the place or whatever the bloody story is. I don't know. I would say that's maybe a little bit of story there's coming up and reseeding. But I think the earth is capable of reseeding herself. She don't need us. We are part. We don't need to be part of the mix, right?
Yes,
I think,
absolutely. Yeah. It takes like 200 years for a tree to come to full maturity. Also, my husband was saying that they just informed the king and queen that they have a 200-year-old forest now that's ready for harvesting. Leave them alone. They're not ready for harvesting, for God's sake. We need them. But they want to cut them down.
I think they've been manipulating us away from seeing the earth for what she really is to us, and how much.
Sugar. Yes. The earth will survive. We're going bye-bye. Yes. Like George Carlin said. The earth will shake us off like a bad case of fleas, and she will live on.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, and don't think she can't be particular. Don't think she can't.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah,
too.
choose who to pick and save. Throw up into that tree.
What was the name of that movie? It's a Stephen King movie, The Happening.
I haven't
Tell
seen
me more.
it.
I don't. Yeah, tell me more. I don't know of that one.
Oh, if you have not seen The Happening, you should see The Happening. The Happening was where the earth started doing exactly what you just said, Bex, and was very selective at who she took out and who she didn't.
Yep.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, there was one of H.A.A.R.P's video, Jason. I've got to give him credit for that. He talked about how this cataclysmic event happened where pockets of survival survived, and they only survived because they weren't part of the world, scenario. They didn't get caught up in the script, and they just carried on with their own way of being. And by being true to self, that they were actually, that like the cataclysmic event actually just hopped over them, like it was like they weren't even there, right?
Yeah. It's like with the movie The Happening, go see it. The earth caused large groups of people to kill themselves, slam your head into a brick wall until you're just, mush and you fall to the ground dead, until it was smaller and smaller groups of people. And then once there was a smaller group of people, then it just up and stopped. So if Earth deems it necessary for population control, Earth has got it. She don't need no help from man or entity of any kind. She can take care of it herself, or she could cause the birds to peck our eyes out and our brain matter out.
And so that's where I wanted to talk to about a little bit about how, like a lot of people say, well, is our earth dying or is it dead? No, I think it's real living, right?
Yes. She's alive. She's not dead. She's alive. And they're going to keep messing around and blaming her, and they're going to piss her off. Yeah, I don't think that's smart at all. Because, I mean, who's the best at bringing the karma but Earth?
What if?
Yep.
What if
She's the
though?
best
I mean,
karma ever. Yep.
what
Yep.
if they've been crueler to us about our poor stewardship, considering it's the elders before us that, well, it's not, I shouldn't call them that. It's the people
Yeah.
before us that took the children from their elders, right, to share in the knowledge. So my point is just that that detachment from her and that reverence for her, we can almost actually create an environment of unworthiness, which I think would make the earth cry if we really understood how much a part of her we are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like
when-
it's like
That resonates so much with my heart. You
When
wouldn't
the
believe me.
earth naturally
Mm.
rains, that is Mother Earth's tears. Not the man-made clouds and the man-made rain and the I'm a psycho with all the electricity, hurricanes and shit. But when it's just a rain, yes, that is Earth crying. You know, we give off moisture as well as we speak. So what you speak, you know, as you think, so are you. And so you will
So
also
within,
speak.
so without. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
as within, so without. So if you speak hate and fear and all of that, that leaves your mouth as precipitation and it goes out there into nature, which is Mother Earth, and it can break her heart as well and cause her to cry as well. Yes.
Well, yeah, and that's where I would say the amount of we've been so conditioned to hate ourselves on so many fronts. Like the division has gone so far that, you know, people call their body a meat suit. They call this place a soul recycling system. They don't feel worthy of walking on the ground that the apple grows out of for them, you know, because we're such empathetic beings. You know, the whole message is to be better stewards, to stop in the tracks of damage, you know, to really look around the world and see. I mean, there's so many graveyards of technology that could be utilized. Like, actually, just look at the orphan wells. Google orphan wells. Okay, not Orson Welles, but orphan wells, and just Google them in your state, and you'll find there are thousands and thousands and thousands of left behind gigantic metal wells from oil rigs, if they ever drilled there, you know. And this, you know, they sit here and they make us recycle our tins and tell us we're not worthy of using a straw, you know, but they put this infrastructure in and they leave it behind. You know, they make bombs instead of x-ray machines, right? They make us hate ourselves, you know, they make us hate ourselves. They make us want a life before now or a life after now more than the life in the now, you know?
Exactly.
Well,
Thank you
here's
very
the
much for
thing.
bringing that up. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can bring it full circle too. The whole butterfly cluster thing that I share about on my channel. Right now, I think it definitely was Gremlin that said that right now she thinks that the Earth is in Pisces. And that next, of course, it'll be in Aquarius, hence the full-on age of Aquarius. But what's after Aquarius? And then what's after that? You know, I do believe it's Sagittarius is coming up here soon. So it may not be that we can die and leave our bodies and go there, though that is something I wish I could do. There is another greater thing that I hope I'm right about, and I'm pretty sure I am. And that's that eventually, since the Earth is traveling through the Milky Way, it is eventually going to get over to the butterfly cluster. There's already 5 Earths there, and when we get there, there'll be 6.
Interesting.
That was my husband.
It's funny, the Milky Way. I was thinking about it recently. This ocean as the extra space as being like water held at a different constant, and then it made me think of the Gaelic Sea, right? The Gaelic Sea and the Galaxy.
True.
Right,
The
C.
Galaxy.
S-E-A,
The
yeah.
Galaxy.
Yeah. Yes, the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Or S-E-E-C. Look. Yeah. So after Aquarius is Capricorn, and then I believe Sagittarius, right?
After Aquarius is Capricorn.
Yeah, after that's
I
Capricorn,
don't.
and then
Is it the same order as it is in our months, or is it a
yeah,
different order?
no, same.
Yeah, no. Then we're missing a few because I know
Yeah,
it
we're
goes.
missing a
Yeah, it
few
goes
there.
I'm not
Scorpio.
looking at one right now, so yeah.
Yeah,
But I
yeah, it
know
goes Scorpio.
eventually Earth will make it there.
But I think you do have them in the right order. I think you're just missing a few ages in between.
Well, it goes from Pisces to Aquarius, and
No,
then from Aquarius to Capricorn for sure. And then between Capricorn and Sagittarius, I'm not full on sure about, but I'm going to go look it up right now. I'll be back.
So that basically, like when we go, so we start in January, Aquarius, and then February, Pisces, March is Aries, is it?
March to April, I believe so. Yeah.
So, and so, I mean, you know, like
April
you're going Pisces to Aquarius, that means you're going, the astrological chart is going backwards, yeah?
Peace of the gods.
You know, it must be going backwards for it to go from Pisces to Aquarius and then back to Capricorn, right?
Yeah, they do say some of them travel in retrograde while others go the other way.
Well, not always retrograde, but every planet is going to be in mostly, well, 5 planets, I think, are going to be retrograde this month. So,
Well, I
it
kind of
is
don't
up on
believe
that.
that planet
But
type
it's
of thing,
only
and I'm not really,
temporary.
yeah,
It's like, it's more
I'm
like
not
they,
really a planet person. And the other thing is that I'm a little bit dubious of these astrological signs because there's 13 full moons to a year. So if you actually put the other full moon into place, I don't know what, I think there is a name for the other one, but it's in an old Indian culture where they promote the tortoise shell as being the signs of the seasons, and like
yeah.
there are 29 little shells on the particles on the outside of the shell that are the days. And then there's 13 bigger portions of the shell, which are the months, right?
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, so it does go in reverse. Well, technically, it does go, you know, what you would call retrograde backwards, because if we are in Pisces now, we'll be in Aquarius next, and then Capricorn. And then I was right. Sagittarius is right after that. So I argued with myself. It is right after
I
that.
think like the astrological chart is pretty close to right, but it won't be right if it's missing a month. And I think they took that out of the astrological chart for a reason, right?
But they put it back recently, a couple years back. They put it back. They
But I
put
mean, if
Ophiuchus
you go
back.
to that original people of Indian people who used the tortoise shell as their calendar, so to speak, they didn't have an astrological chart as such. I kind of feel the old world's done a little bit of misleading people with that, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, they do seek to change the times and the seasons and the days, weeks, months, the years, and all of that jazz. Yep.
One thing I can say is that's why people do birth charts, but they actually never have kept it as specific as it should be. Just like the Chinese calendar, right? Like technically Chinese New Year starts sometime in January or February. Ergo, depending on what year you're born, if you're born in January, you're not actually born in the year of the rat in 1972, right? Depends on what day. Now, the Chinese themselves, actually, many Chinese nations, they all celebrate their birth on New Year's, right? So if I'm born 2 weeks before New Year's Day in some Chinese nations, on the New Year's Day, I become 1 year old, even if I'm only 2 weeks old, right? That's when everybody's ages change, right? So it just as an example, in ours, it all has to do with the moons and when they're full and when they're not and all that jazz. So the boundaries of the horoscopes would have changed every single year, according to your birthday.
Yeah, that's why I go by where the planets actually are. Yeah.
I think, and then I would think that because it's a 12, a base 12 system, we'll call it, right, in a circle, it's you could have a base 2 system, a base 4 system, a base 13, a base 64, right? So you're not missing information, but no matter what, you've superimposed it onto the whole circle, and everybody's been shifted off a little. And that's exactly what the suspicion that, as a general sense, that's why many people don't identify with it. And then even on a direct place and time chart, you'd still be missing that added knowledge. You'd be a little bit off on some things. But like I said,
you have to dig deep. Yeah.
And depending on how long the system's been around, like I said, if you're still looking at the whole pie, whether you're looking at 2/13 of it and dividing it into 2 in half, not knowing there's 13 pieces, or whether you're dividing it into 12 of 13, so long as you're not taking that whole piece out of the system, there still would be an important pattern to discern if their pattern was important at all. Does that make sense?
Well, they took Ophiuchus out because the sun,
but they didn't take it out
in it for only like 3 days or a week. Yeah.
They didn't really take it out because there's not a certain days of the year where nobody has a birth sign. You know what I mean? What they did was they spread the difference. The whole pie is still divided amongst all the signs, right? It's just shifted slightly by that piece of the pie that never got described.
Well, kind of not in the circle. It sits kind of outside of the circle, but the sun and the moon still pass through the legs of Ophiuchus. So yeah, but yeah, no one even knew about Ophiuchus. They only recently learned in the past few years about it. They never knew. And some of them are Ophiuchus instead of Scorpio.
Yes.
And Doc Illusion, my friend from many years ago here on YouTube, it turns out he is not a Scorpio, but he is Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer, which is like a light bearer. And so that's why he does what he does, and he'll continue to grow because he's on his path. He's doing the work. It doesn't matter to me where he is now and whether I agree with what he's doing. It just matters that he's my friend, and I understand that he is coming along exactly as he's supposed to be coming along. And I do not judge him for doing any of the rituals that he does. So,
well, we're all doing, when we're following the script of the world, we're all doing rituals for it, aren't we? You know,
we are, whether we know it or not.
Yeah.
You know, if you celebrate Christmas, you're performing a ritual.
Yeah.
I performed a new ritual with my name today. I've been trying to come up with names for my channel. This is my best one so far.
That's right. You're playing with
Pythagoras Bex.
You said another one the other day on Smokin' G, who I think is also live or uploaded a video while we were live here. What was one of the other ones? Say the other ones. You said one that I really, really liked. What was it?
Oh, I'm not sure. Because we were coming up with ones that go with
B, with the letter B. Go over all the ones.
Well, I know I was thinking of, there was ones I was looking up at the dictionary, X words, right? So you could go with like Bextra. That's what Charles suggested, Bextra.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one. I agree with Jeff.
I love Pythagoras Bex.
You do?
Tyrannosaurus.
It sounds a little dinosaurian, you know. It's just like,
yeah, but Pythagoras, I recently learned is a lot more than a triangle.
That's true.
Pythagoras, he gave us a lot. He was a great philosophizer. Okay,
that's true.
And
that's true. Yeah. Well, you have to explain that to everybody that missed this video just now. You know, you'd have to explain. I'm just thinking of ones that would be, you know, wouldn't have to explain. But that is a good one. Now that you explain it that way, it is a really good one. But it would be harder to say. Say it again. Pythagoras.
Pythagoras. Did you ever learn about the a squared plus b squared equals c squared? Finding the length of a hypotenuse or the length of the sides of a right angled triangle. You just need the length of two sides, and you'll get the length of the third side through the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared, with c squared being the hypotenuse. Right. That's the Pythagoras theorem. Right. So the quadratic equation. Oh, no. Sorry. Quadratic equation is for, just anyways, doesn't matter. I was like linking those two things together, zipping it. So that's what he's known for. That's known as the Pythagorean theorem.
Well, I would have to call you Pi for short. I don't think my mouth can say it. I tried.
I was trying to keep the Bex. Anyways, I'm just wasting your guys' time. It was fun. It's fun. I'm playing around with it.
Would that be okay if I called you Bex for short?
No, I would just go by Bex.
Bex? Okay, just keep it Bex.
I would just stick with the name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would be okay. It wouldn't be not okay, but I would probably correct you.
Yeah, well, I don't want that. That's why I asked if it would be okay if you did that, because I just tried to say it and I can't. My mouth just won't. You know, it's like I was told I make more sense in Spanish than in English because the English language is so screwed up. And I wish I could speak in Spanish, but my tongue doesn't do some of those trill things that their tongues do when speaking the Spanish language. I can't do it. So, but you've been coming up with some cool ass options, that's for sure.
Thanks. I see Christos down there in the chat. There's a message for you, Paula, in the chat.
Oh, I'm gonna go back and check. I just got back. I better go back over there.
And where's Charles? What are you doing, Charles?
Listening.
What's he checking out? What's he watching?
You are
forgiven, Christos. I love you.
There he is.
You are forgiven, Christos. Everyone is forgiven. It's all good. Oh, I'm looking through live chat now. I fell behind a little bit, and Bex informed me I needed to go get caught up. Everyone's forgiven, and when I say everyone, I mean everyone is forgiven, because how else are we going to get our hearts right?
Exactly.
Immediately.
Just polishing, just polishing. Everyone's just polishing their stones together.
We're just polishing our stones together, and you know, iron sharpens iron. If there's no sword fight, there's no iron sharpening iron.
True.
So, yes. It's a must. It must happen. And it's so that we can check ourselves so we don't wreck ourselves.
Nice. You best to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Wicked.
Yeah.
The verbal source of truth. The sword of truth.
The sword of
We got
truth,
that
the
too, don't we?
flaming sword of truth. Yes.
Mm.
Yes. And it pierces the heart and even to the marrow of your bones, but let it burn. We're saving
Let
lives
it
here, you know?
burn.
Yes, when people say, "Oh, I've never been evil, I've never been bad, I've never done anything wrong," well, you know,
I don't believe it.
Yeah, don't believe that stuff.
Doing something, to
It's
me, there's
not
a
easy to be that perfect.
semantic issue there. There's a semantic issue there. Okay, so
Mm.
doing something bad or doing something wrong is being human, right?
I
Evil,
I know.
evil, and I know people could get it. We could get into debates, right?
I'm
But
evil.
evil is actually an intention. So, sure, has someone wounded somebody enough to bring out the worst in that person to have evil thoughts, let's say, like in retaliation? Again, not evil if
Yeah,
you don't act on them, you know, like just human, right? So,
yeah.
there's a careful grouping evil in, because I can honestly tell you, I've done harm to people, right? I've been bad. Right. I've hurt, you know, but I can honestly tell you I'm not evil.
I am.
No,
Yes,
evil
I know
is
what you're
read
saying. Yes, I
backwards.
agree. Yeah.
I'm evil. I'm good. I'm all the above. I balance it all out.
Yeah.
So evil is just live backwards, which means death. What's the opposite of life? Death. So, like, you know, lies can cause murder to a person's spirit.
Yes.
So that is doing damage to someone. But if it was accidental and unintentional, then it's not evil, which is death. So there is a difference. When it's intentional, then it's evil, which is death.
I think lies are intentional. The rest is misinformation being passed along.
Yeah, misinformation
So-
doesn't count. Yeah, it doesn't go in there
you know,
with it.
towing a textbook line that, you know, running around, saying something that you know to be a fact that is a fact until you know it's not, doesn't make you evil or bad, or it just makes you wrong, right? And so I don't know. I think there's sometimes some of the words we've been taught we use interchangeably when I don't know that they were intended to be used that way. Just again to generalize about that evil thing, I think even the most protective, righteous, the most protective, righteous male energy that I could imagine as a woman, I still think that what makes that good-hearted man feel evil is the fact that he would have to resort to those tactics at all, right? So I respect that. I respect that someone could see righteous retaliation as evil, but it's the intentions behind things that we get too caught up in the extreme scenarios philosophizing about, instead of really understanding that the main difference, I think, between good and evil is true intention. And I think it's the empathy of good people find it hard to imagine, because even in their worst thoughts, even in their most protective space, their most righteous rage is nothing like the evil that they look and see before them. Because does that make sense? Like
the intentions of, you know, what's happening to us in the world that the governments are doing to us. That's intentional.
Excuse me.
That's straight up evil.
That's straight up evil.
Yeah.
That is,
Selling things in grocery stores, selling anything as medicine, selling anything.
What is resident evil? We can say resident evil is the world performing its functions. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess assuming. Yeah, go ahead, Charles.
Huh? I was yawning. Just stop yawning.
Yeah. Stop yawning.
Yes, you know, I mean, you know, there's lots of. I can admit this to myself, right? And I will admit it in here, right, open right now, that you can think to yourself a bad thought about someone. You might even think a real nasty thought towards them. But if it never comes out of your mind or your mouth, no one's never going to know you had it, right? So, in the same token, a person can say well, I'm a good person. I've never done anything wrong. But who's to say they never thought anything bad or wrong? And that's the reason that they know and how they understand it. It resonates with them because they've already thought that thought, right?
If you've thought it in your mind, according to the word, you have done it in your heart. If I'm adding the part that was left out, and this is key, if you entertained the thought to the point that it came out of your mouth and then you did it, if you shut that shit down immediately, you're safe.
Right.
I
And
think
so I wanted to carry on further than that because I went to a place called the Forum, and I had anger built. I was shit. It's going to come out in my story, but I was painted with anger, and I hated my father. But not only did I hate my father, because of that hate for my father, it sort of like overflowed into other parts of my life, right? And so when anybody in my life even showed me a snippet of my dad in their attitude or their speaking or whatever they were doing, I would take adverse reactions toward that person just because it triggered me that way, right?
Right.
So I'm just letting people know that I have had, you know, you'll find out, I put a 22 in my father's ear, and I was going to kill him if he touched my mother's ear, put a hand on my mother ever again. Okay.
Well, that was kind of a righteous anger, just so you know. But you should never take a life. But you did let him know, look, I will blow your head off, motherfucker. Touch my mother again, I dare you. Think about touching my mother one more again, and I will end you. You know, that there is a such thing as righteous anger. Just don't pull the damn trigger. And you didn't, right?
I didn't. Thank goodness for that, Paul.
You know, but sometimes they're so stubborn and abusive that they need that kind of a reality check. Look, you're not the only one in the house that can do something to somebody. I can end you too. You know, and I would have probably been driven to the same actions you were. I grew up with a mother who constantly had abusive men in her damn life that, you know, I wished would just drop dead.
Yeah.
Just so that he would stop abusing her and making my life harder, because she always took it out on us because she couldn't take it out on him. He was bigger than her.
But it's just that we are forced indirectly into situations like that. Yeah,
like I said, this world has got us so stressed out right now. It ain't going to take much to make us slide off of our cracker every once in a while. Well, we get back on the damn cracker, and you know, your cheese slides off your cracker. That analogy, you know, put the cheese back on the cracker and straighten out and fly right again, so we can start building together again.
Nice, Gil. Thank you very much. But I love the conversation today. Awesome.
Yes. You know, I'm all about exposing, or what? How is that said now? It's expel all evil, expose all evil.
I think it's actually exposing the evil, because by exposing it, you expel it, right?
I think that's the beauty of it. They're kind of interchangeable. In fact,
that's the beauty of it.
Exposing truth expels evil, right?
Right. Exactly.
And that's why the words weren't good and evil, right? Because the truth isn't necessary. The truth isn't the truth is going to be good that it came out, but it's going to be ugly. And some people would call it bad and evil because it's true. Right? You see what I'm saying? Like,
and at the same time,
Excuse me,
if it's exposed, that's a good thing. So it actually becomes a good thing in the end.
Yeah.
Once it's expelled and
excuse me,
exposed.
we've got Ted. Excuse me, we've got company, and I'm going to have to either back out of here or mute my mic. I want to carry on listening, so I'm going to mute my mic. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, but don't leave.
I
Just
thought
mute.
No, I won't leave. I'm not leaving. I'm just going to mute my mic.
Okay. Yeah, the little doggy had something to say. Confirmation and all that. Oh, and plus that was a pretty powerful magic spell too. Expel all evil, expose all truth. Pretty powerful. You know, words are power. You know, they're a form of craft. You know, whether you want to call that witchcraft or not, you know, that's up to
Well,
you.
that's where I would
I
say
just
that
see it as alchemy.
that's the philosopher's stone behind that's the intention behind
Yes.
behind the words, right? Versus
Yes.
the versus say using amplifying it with blood magic, which technically is blood magic, okay, without the blood being shed from the body.
Yeah, because your body's full
it's
of
actually,
blood and it is speaking
yeah,
those words. Yes.
yeah. So it really more important is your understanding and intention behind the words than the word choice, even though they have bewitched us with their narrow definitions of so many words meaning the same thing. They don't.
Right.
Ignorance and naivety are not the same.
That's right. That's right. They're not.
You know,
Naivety is you're innocent and so you fall prey. But what was the other word you said? Naivety and what?
well, we use them interchangeably. Ignorance.
And
People
ignorance.
can be ignorant because of their naivety. They didn't know, right? They didn't know. That is naivety,
Yeah,
right?
true.
Now,
Yeah.
ignorance technically though is to ignore something, right? So once you're aware, so for instance, we went out, we tell people, oh, hey, you should check out some other media. We think the media might be corrupt. You know,
Yeah.
and people are like, oh, no, right? Then 3 years later, they're like, oh, hey, look at these bad things that are happening, you know, and then there's people that are like, yeah, I tried to tell you like for 3 years now, you know, and they're like, yeah, yeah. So basically all I'm saying is that, I can't remember where I was going with that. Oh, ignorance. They
And meanings of
ignored
words.
those people were actively ignorant, right? They chose. Now, again, let's just pretend children are learning how to learn, right? Let's just
But I
pretend
wouldn't
all these
say
adults, they didn't know, right? They didn't
we're
know. And then,
brainwashed. Yeah.
yeah, they couldn't take on the truth of being lied to and the truth of ignoring doing something different, right?
Yeah. Right.
So from a place of naivety, people act ignorant and they choose to ignore, because we know sifting through information, you're like, oh, wait, that's a double false flag. Oh, that might be a quadruple agent faking to be this, faking to be that, faking to be this, right? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that could be the hidden truth behind the lie, behind the truth, behind the lie, Victor Victoria style, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
But it's still, and that is nobody, it just gets you further into like, we don't know shit, right? We don't know shit, you know? But again, at least you're able to push through all that stuff and come back to a position of not being ignorant, even if you don't have an answer. You know, ignorance is way more active than we think. And that's why they say, that's why they don't let you use it as an excuse for the law, you know?
Yeah. Yep, they do not let you use it. Yep, for an excuse for the law. Ignorance is not bliss, but for some
naivety.
You should see in the new picture I posted. It's picture number 4.
Okay.
The new 5 I just posted. Not the ones with the collages that synchronizing symbols, but this new one. It's an old tree they dug up. Too bad it wasn't a Titan tree. It could be a tree branch, but and if anybody knows what picture 1, 2, and 3, the first 3 are, let me know because I don't know. But they just looked interesting.
So that's
That
in
tree.
your what? It's on your YouTube channel in that other community section, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to look at that later.
So is that, those are car tracks, or those are big tracks beside that tree, or?
Yeah, I think so. Well, you thinking it got dropped off?
No, I'm just
know.
trying to get the size of it. It's definitely big. I was just trying to see how big.
Yeah, I don't know if it was buried or they dropped it off there. I don't know.
The
But
most
I know
powerful
it's an
government.
old tree. So
I like that meme. I mean, it's sad, but the most powerful governments in the world can't solve homelessness, but they can change the Earth's temperature if you pay more taxes.
Right.
that's a good one.
Yeah, and
That
they
makes me
can't
look real bad.
bring Mars back to life because they already killed it. I'm telling you, we probably lived there first and then killed it and then came here to kill this planet. But I'm not saying us, we. I mean the rulers, the elite. Yeah, they're trying to kill Earth, but I don't think that they'll accomplish it this time. I believe she's coming with us to the cluster, the butterfly cluster, because we are traveling through the Milky Way. Absolutely. That is a fact. So, being that's a fact, we will eventually get there. And I think that's when we'll have all finally learned from our mistakes, those who are human.
You said
And
traveling
bad ones
through
won't
the
be allowed
Milky Way?
there. Huh?
You said we're traveling through the Milky Way?
Yes. Traveling through the Milky Way. Yep.
The wallpaper for this page, Chuck, do you know where that crater's from?
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
big Africa.
It's really cool. And that second set of pictures, that crucifixion picture in the brain, like the whole brain even looks like an angel for it on top of a tree. You know, once you start looking at it like that. What a cool picture. Very cool.
Sorry, I'm kind of away for a minute, so I'll be back.
Well, I definitely appreciate the focus of today's streams, Charles.
Yeah, I gotta change the title. Be jumping off soon. I'm beat. Running around.
Hey
No
guys,
nothing.
thanks very much too. I'm bloody enjoying the whole thing, and you know, it's great to be a part of things. But I've got company here, so I'm gonna really have to go. Okay. Now, so
Okay,
Thanks for
love
very
coming
much.
you.
up, Dean.
Much love
Yeah,
to you,
thank
Dean.
you.
You know you're welcome here.
Hey, much love to everyone, and take care. And talk again soon, Chuck. Give me a chat or text later or something. You want to
All
carry
right.
on with the interview? Okay.
All right. Peace.
Peace out, everyone.
One love.
Bye, Dean. One love.
H.A.A.R.P's live. I just seen her. I said what up to her.
Oh, she's live too? Nice.
Yeah. I didn't know she goes live.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
went in there and said what up to her. She
Yep, I
got.
wouldn't mind checking on G-Sharp before she ends her live.
I think she just went live. I don't know.
It was a while ago, probably maybe half hour. She doesn't usually stay live for very long either. So, yeah, I probably will go ahead and bounce from here to over there. But yes, it was an absolutely fun time talking about all of the different things that we discussed here today. And the most
I gotta look
important
into
one,
that stone more.
yes,
Philosophy.
definitely. Manly P. Hall, according to Bex, is where you're going to find the best information. And I'm apt to agree with her on that because just Googling it, you're just going to find the surface crap that doesn't mean squat.
It was just a good cursory that I think it's called something to do with alchemizing attitudes.
Yes.
The alchemy of attitudes or something like that. I don't know. I know I sent you the link, Charles, as
Yeah,
well.
it's
The
in
one I
private
sent you,
chat.
and then I put it in the back of this chat as well.
Yep. I'm going to be digging into that bad boy for sure.
Well, and just to be clear, yeah, my camera came on in my pocket, so but it's fine. It's just that it's weird light shining through my t-shirt pocket. So anyways.
Yeah, we
Just
don't
wanted to
see it. We
clarify that.
just see you.
No, yeah, I went back and looked. It's no big deal. It's just bizarre. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Only
making sure.
one person. That
I
this
know.
channel is so small, and they probably buried it deeper than the other one. That's the thing. If you have issues with YouTube and you make another channel, don't link them together. Don't have that on the same device. Don't even look up your other channel on that phone, just in case, and you'll see the difference.
Okay.
People are finding you though while you've been here.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a video on that. No, I'm not doing that.
No.
I was, but to prove a point that when they bury your channel, because when I look for my channels on here in YouTube, of course they're gonna come up. It knows my device. But if I go on someone else's device to try to look my channel,
be hard to find.
Yep.
Yep. Well, thanks again, Charles.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, it was definitely a very informative day. I'm gonna go look up more of this D.O.M stuff. That doesn't sound good. D.O.M. Because as soon as I searched, it was the word module versus modulator that immediately led me to some. I had to just search it just like you did. Like I searched like direct energy weapon, South Pole, D.O.M, and it came up digital optical module, and there's tons of them. Tons of them. They drilled
Wow.
tons of holes. Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like 48 or 84, something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways, I'm interested. I'd never heard anything of it. So thanks for the
Bringing
alert.
that to
I'm
you.
gonna go see
Yeah.
how that fits in.
All right, everyone.
Okay. Much
I
love.
love you
See you soon.
all.
Bye.
One love, everyone, and peace. Check you tomorrow.
Peace, love.